What's up, guys? The Danglers are back. Very special guest again, Seth Feider, 2021 AOI, here in the Auburn booth at iCast. Let's get this show going.
Hell yeah, thanks for having me, boys.
The current king of the world.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How does it feel?
Amazing.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. So St. Lawrence, you had it all kind of riding on it. Well, not all riding on it, but you know what I mean. Like that's the final tournament, and that's when your chance was to finish it. And how was that? How were the first 2 days? And how'd you feel after the first day after you had a good bag?
Yeah. I know I had a big lead, but I was still nervous going into that last one. Just everything that could possibly go wrong, just going through my head the whole time, breaking down, not making it back, whatever, not catch them, whatever could happen. And day one at blast off, I was dry heaving. I wasn't even drinking or nothing, so just dry heaving from like nerves and stress. And then after catching a good bag on day one, like day two, I think day two I caught like a 4-pounder like right off the bat, and after that fish, it was like I just finally relaxed and got to enjoy a day of fishing.
Sure.
How many points did you were you leading going into St. Lawrence? Did you know a certain place you had to finish in?
Yeah, I think I had like a 50 something, and we're cutting to 45 for the Saturday, so I knew if I made it to Saturday, it was over with.
That's awesome.
Was there anyone congrats. Was there anyone in particular that you're like, if anyone's going to give me, it's going to be this guy, or is it
Chris Johnston?
I figured.
Yeah. I mean, he was third. He was a little further behind me, but I knew he was probably going to win or finish in the top 2 or 3, and he did. And I figured he'd be the biggest problem, more so than Patrick Walters was the guy right behind me, but he historically hasn't done as well there as Chris Johnston has. So I was more worried about Chris.
Yeah.
So when you were thinking about it, and you're like, night before the first day, everything's running through your head, all these nerves, are you like, leave it all on the water, get to Saturday, or is it like, let's be kind of smart about it and be a little safe to get to Saturday?
I mean, the only way that I played it safe was fishing close to takeoff. I knew it was going to go down in the lake. I didn't want to make the long run and risk anything like that. So I played it safe as far as just staying close and trying, because I know I didn't need like 25 pounds a day to do it. I knew, 17, 18 pounds a day would get it done, and I found that in practice. Not enough to do a whole lot in the tournament, but enough for 2 days anyways. So, yeah, I beat them up day 1, day 2, and just made sure I got in there. And then when day 3 rolled around, I was literally out of fish. So, but it didn't matter at that point.
Gotcha.
Did you try and make a long run on day 3, or did you just kind of try?
Nah, I was over it at that point.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just go back and catch what's left of them and just enjoy the day. I didn't feel like going on a 2-hour boat ride, beating myself up, try to do anything crazy. Plus, I never practiced there. I spent all 3 days of practice by the ramp, so I didn't really have something to run to other than the lake. But yeah, you don't get enough time fishing out there just to pull up on a whim.
So it was just going to be live or die near the ramp.
Yeah, and I knew. I was catching them shallow, so I had a pretty good idea on what was left, and I knew there was no big ones left, and I didn't catch any big ones on day 3, but I had fun. I enjoyed it.
Well, it's awesome. It's one of the only titles you didn't have, and now you've kind of secured that. I guess Bassmaster Classic would be the next one.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that's everybody's one to get. I know they say AOI is harder to win than a Classic, but I feel like the Classic's kind of the...
How do you feel about the Classic location and everything coming up?
I like Hartwell, especially that time of year. It'll spread the guys out. You can kind of do whatever you want when you go there.
Fish is pretty big.
Yeah, if you want to fish in 6 inches of water, you can. If you want to fish in 50 feet of water, you can. So it's not like one of them lakes where you got to be in a certain zone or a certain area of the lake. So I think it'll fish really big.
Sitting, like right now, just you thinking about it, how do you think it'll go down for you as far as your approach?
I mean, water temp's gonna have to vary, but I'll probably try to largemouth fish.
Okay.
I mean, if it's super cold, if we roll up there and it's 25 degrees,
almost have to spot fish at that point.
Yeah, I'll go mess with spots. But if we're on a warming trend, the fish are coming shallow, I'll beat the bank and try to do it on largemouths.
So as far as winning Angler of the Year, I know there's some pivotal moments that you kind of realize that it may be possible. I know watching you fish all year long, I felt like Champlain was one of those like really make or break tournaments for you that like you kind of like just fought all day, every day at that tournament just to get by. I mean, do you think Champlain was one of the most important ones, or?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the year, they're all important, but that was one that one really took the fun out of it with the whole AOI thing. Because usually when I go to Champlain, like I feel like I'm gonna win when I go there and like really fish super confidently and aggressive, and I almost always like exclusively largemouth fish when we go there, just because it takes a long time to find where those few, those big 5-6 pound largemouths are. And this year I spent probably 3/4 of my practice looking for smallmouths, trying to find the places I go catch 17, 18 pounds and have a decent tournament and not bomb out on the points. So it kind of took a little bit of the fun out of it, but we got the job done there. But yeah, it was another one I was super nervous going into. And typically any other year going to up north, that's when it's like time to try to win a tournament. It just it wasn't in the cards for it this year, which is the position I was sitting in.
Yeah, I know you probably weren't trying to look at the points as much as you're trying to just fish each tournament as it goes. But at what point did you think like, hey, you have a legitimate shot at doing it?
Probably after Lake Fork. I think it was in the top couple in the points, and we were getting pretty close to going north. That's when I thought I had a legit chance at winning. But no, I've looked at points like ever since then. Especially once we got up north, I was like a mathematician. Like I was like, okay, I need like this many pounds and ounces to get this many points, beat this guy by this many, and it just really ended up stressing me out and kind of taking the fun out of it. But
have you been able to go fun fishing since you won, or have you just been busy?
Day 3 on St. Lawrence was fun. Day 2 was fun too, and then I stopped by Zona's house on the way home. We did a little booze cruise in the pontoon and got a couple dinks out on his pond. But I mean, I haven't fished since then, really.
Good deal.
We were, me and my buddy were actually on our team. We're actually fishing the Toyota Series on Champlain, so we followed around a lot of like what you guys were doing out there. And I remember watching you on day 1. You started out fishing for smallmouth, and then you just totally scrapped that and went flipping milfoil for largemouth. So, kind of, what made you decide to do that?
Well, I wasn't catching them. I think I broke one off right away, and then I was having some mechanical difficulties with my electronics. And the way I was fishing them, I really needed them to work. And just one of the things that's been happening to me all year this year, like little negative things have been happening that turned into positives. It was kind of like a sign from God telling me to go largemouth fish. Like my graphs ain't working, so it's like go somewhere you don't need graphs. And I pulled into one of my flipping spots and ended up catching a big bag in there with the jig, just fishing old school, sunglasses, flipping stick, and just going after it. And honestly, just dumb stuff like that's been happening all year, just kind of meant to be stuff. Like I think if all my stuff was working fine, I'd have spent a lot more time messing with those smallmouths. But like I said, I think I just kind of took it as like a sign from God to just go pick up a jig and go flipping,
Good deal.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's Stealth Feider. I used it for the first time when I was up there, and it's awesome.
It's the one.
That jig is the deal.
For northern largemouths in the grass, for sure. Like it's probably not the best like pine tree jig or like nasty brush pile jig, but if you go to Champlain, you better have one tied on.
Yeah.
My trolling motor broke on day 2 of the Champlain event. I couldn't deploy it, but just barely. The prop was in the water.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess we're going fish for largemouth.
Yeah.
And I had like an hour left, pulled into a pocket, and first flip with that thing, I caught a 4-pounder.
Hell yeah.
It was sick.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That thing is the juice.
Yeah.
I've only thrown it, like, I've bought it and then thrown it, and I'm like, oh man, this thing's a $9 jig. Like, I'm not going to do it. And then I went up north and actually had some milfoil to flip with it.
That's where it shines,
It's definitely
they like
what
a
it's
little
made
jig
for.
up north, Like if you're fishing pre-spawn down south, it seems like they like full skirt and a big chunk. And when you come up north, I don't know what it is, but I cut that skirt real short right behind the hook, put on a real small trailer, just real compact, even though it's a heavy jig, still half-ounce 5/8 or whatever. It just seems like, if you do that down south, you get little bites. And if you do that up north, the big fish still like a little jig. I don't know what it is about
It's a beauty. It's a beauty, Clark.
Might be the clear water. I'm not sure.
I tell you this, I'm way too cheap to ever spend $8 on a jig, but a buddy that I have that knows you pretty well gave me a bunch of them for free.
Nice.
And that quickly became my favorite jig of all time, and I can't shut up about it.
Yeah.
No, that jig catches them down south, too.
It does.
It skips really well.
Yeah.
It gets hung up a little, but it skips extremely well.
It's not made for super heavy cover, not hard cover,
Right.
I wouldn't flip it in a pine tree, but if
Cage
you're fishing
fiber,
grass.
though, that's a good skip jig.
And clean docks it's good on too, but it definitely gets hung up a little bit, but
it's made for that milfoil.
it's made for grass.
Yeah, that's what I
soft
caught him on
grass.
to the Potomac River and the milfoil.
Yeah,
with the
absolutely.
jig.
It'd be a great jig there.
Awesome. Yeah, so I was. We talked to Matt. We had him on before you came, and we talked to
Matty?
him. Yeah, we had all on him.
On him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a fun dude to talk to.
Yeah.
And he's in the classic, and he's saying all mediocre year. I'm like, dude, that's the 3 classics for him. I don't know if it's straight, but it's 3 classics for him.
3 classics by the end of your first elite season?
Yeah, that's
pretty damn
good.
respectable.
He's underplaying it, but we had him on, and we had his thoughts on. So the 2022 Elite Series just came out.
Yeah.
We had his thoughts on that schedule. What's your top 3 on there? And is there anything that you just like, oh, man,
Or not looking forward to?
Nothing I'm really dreading. I mean, there's no really bad fisheries on there. I think that Santee one in the spring is going to be insane.
I do too.
I think that's going to be a 100+ pounder.
Yeah, your buddy Patrick will be hard to
I mean,
beat there.
Fork's always good. And I think that Oahe tournament will be really cool. That place has gotten a lot better since we were there last. And I don't think many guys fishing this year know much about it.
Exactly.
So it'll be kind of a wildcat, and I think it'll be a fun one. Like the state record just got caught there last week. It was 7.4, which is.
Yeah.
But I guess they're getting a lot of 5-6 pounders out there now, so I think.
Is that 7.4 smallmouth?
Yeah. I don't even know if there's largemouth in that
That's a
lake.
big
one.
What kind of tells you that it's gotten better? Because everybody I've kind of talked to, obviously it's just been today. They kind of say it's not the greatest. It's not a bad fishery, but it's not the greatest. Why do you think it's gotten better? Just reports?
Yeah, just bigger fish are getting caught out there is all I'm basing that off of. It's a bear, man. It's probably the biggest lake any of us will fish ever, and it does not have a giant fish population in it.
I don't remember like specifically I remember them going there. I didn't follow it extremely hard because it's not fishing I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Is it pretty much vertical fishing or?
You can catch them deep and shallow. It's more just getting in the right area where they're at. I think they migrate a lot in that lake, and it's like there's places you cannot go on that lake just because you can't get enough gas in your boat to get there. and
Right.
back. And there's nowhere to get gas. I mean, there's places around where we're taking off to get gas, but there's nowhere like
Once you
up
get
to-
out
it's
there.
just- there's nothing. It's desolate. So there's literally stretches of that lake that we're literally not going to be able to fish just because no one would be able to get up there. and
I got
back.
you.
Gotcha. Well,
On
they're
fuel.
shutting the lights out on us, so we're going to ask you one more question.
All right.
The TBA, anywhere you want it to be and anywhere where do you think it's going to be?
I have no idea where it's gonna be.
Heard any rumors?
So do you guys get kind of left in the dark on these things, or do you guys
Yeah,
don't
but
get any kind of hint
I'm okay
at all?
with that. Well, you hear stuff, rumors. Oh, I heard it's going here. I heard it's going here. But every time I hear one of those, it's
Never there.
never true. So, and I'd rather be left in the dark. Like I don't even like that they announced the schedule this early with our off limits rules and stuff. Like I got a bunch of buddies down at La Crosse, and
You can't go with
I'm not going to be able to talk to them dudes for
That sucks,
literally
yeah.
12 months now. I wish they'd announced the schedule like January 1 or something like that.
So with a TBA, you have no idea where it's be. Let's say you just go through every fishing contact in your phone and just say, this is your home lake. What do I need to know? Is that illegal as long as it's not, like if it's not one of the lakes that are on the schedule already, like if you don't know the lake?
I mean, it'd be legal, but that's not something I'd do.
Obviously,
I mean,
it's a shot in the dark. I'm
that's
just
your
curious.
gray area. That's like some Wheeler would do. He'd call everyone
Yeah, there we go.
and get every waypoint on every lake for June 2nd. That's just not how I play the game.
Yeah, that's
it
how
is
you
what
win
it
it
is. I
live.
mean,
Where would you like it to be?
I mean, I'd like it to be somewhere up north. I mean, you're kind of in that Date range or down south is like, I mean, ledge fishing's kind of becoming a thing of the past just with how
pressure.
easy it is to find them. And now typically that'd be an awesome week for ledge fishing. But I'd rather not go to like TBA Ledge Lake anymore. It's not that much fun now that how easy it is to find them out there. They just don't hold up as well, and everyone's gonna find them. And if we go up north, then it's gonna be like a whole spawning deal. So I don't know of a place I'd really want to go that week, to be honest.
As a fan, I think something like a Chesapeake or Potomac or something
cool.
in that mid-range area would be awesome.
That would be cool, actually. Yeah, something like that.
We're hoping they send y'all to Saginaw Bay. That's where we just had our
I'd go
last
there.
tournament.
That place is cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's a cool place.
I have not, but
It's a good fishery.
Yeah.
Lots of largemouth to be caught. Lots of smallmouth.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do
Different.
kind of place.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me,
Congrats
boys.
again.
I know it was late. We really appreciate
Yeah.
the willingness to do
good.
this.
Hell
So.
yeah.
Awesome.
Well,
Hell
good
yeah.
luck. Good. Everybody going to the championship?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
got
I mean, we got 11 boats. We'll be up
Good
there.
luck. Go win that thing. And was it you get the classic?
Yeah,
win
he's
that
already.
deal?
We're in the.
He's
bracket.
in the bracket with his partner.
So top three
Yeah.
from the championship compete against.
Maybe I'll be at
It's a
home.
bracket, so
Good luck.
hopefully one of us is
Hopefully
there
one of
against
you guys
y'all.
make it. We'll see you at blast off for the classic.
Yes, sir. Let's do
Hey,
it.
we appreciate it, Seth.
Yeah.
See ya.
Thanks, boys. We'll see you.
See ya.